Atlanta. Dynamic, booming, with an increasing demand for city services at a time when federal funds are being cut drastically. The problem? To maintain those services without raising taxes. A dilemma that Atlanta faced in a highly unique fashion through increased productivity and training. The story starts in August 1985. Mayor Andrew Young speaks on television.
We know city employees are dedicated and productive, but they've received very little, if any, training for their jobs. We know that productivity can be increased dramatically. Supervision can be made more effective. Management controls can be improved. Energy can be saved. Uncollected revenues can be collected. There must be, and we can, meet the managerial standards of private industry. But to do so, we've got to use the modern tools and methods of private industry.
Run a city like a business? Can't be done, claim the critics. There are too many constituencies to please. Too much political pressure and media attention. Too much bureaucratic inertia. No profit motive to enforce the necessary discipline.
True, cutting costs isn't politically popular. It usually takes a crisis to get the government to act. But in Atlanta, we decided to take an unpopular step. We decided to avoid the crisis by launching our own cost control program, even before Graham-Rudman. We did exactly what a private business would do in the same situation. We called in expert help.
Mayor Young's decision to engage the APC Skills Company provoked a heated reaction.
My concern was that we not only get an analysis or a description of the problems, but that we get someone to help us implement the changes and negotiate with our staff and engineer consent for those changes with our workers.
Bureau directors were suspicious from the start. And of course, their agenda from the beginning was, look, it's in my best interest to outlive APC Skills, that is, to outlast them.
You know, change is never easy. We all know that we should exercise and eat right, stop smoking, not drink too much. But it's not until we go to the doctor and get our blood sugar analyzed and find that our cholesterol is high, or get an electrocardiogram and find that our heart's giving us trouble, it's not until we pay for that expensive examination that we're really willing to face the doctor's prescription. And so we got our EKG. For the first time, we conducted a comprehensive review of our operation. We found that we have the same problems that plague municipal governments all over the country. Underutilization of staff, poor communication between management and staff within departments, isolation of departments from one another. But those very problems pointed to an enormous opportunity to increase productivity and to reduce costs.
Taking a hard look at ourselves helped us set clear operational goals. Then we committed the staff and time to turn those goals into realities. We created resource groups made up of staff from every corner of city government to come up with specific recommendations and put them into practice. We also trained some 200 managers and supervisors to become more effective at their jobs. The whole effort was a cooperative one, involving not just ourselves and APC, but drawing on the talents of the community, such as Atlanta University.
Atlanta University was privileged to work with APC Skills Corporation and the City of Atlanta in the development and management of a training program that was designed to upgrade the management capabilities of the executives and managers of the City of Atlanta, from the mayor and commissioners down to the first-line supervisor.
We achieved a better than 4-to-1 return on the city's investment in the program, a return that we'll realize not only this year, but for years to come. What's more, we achieved those economies without reducing services and without laying off a single employee. It didn't come easily. It didn't come all at once. It came $1 here and $1 there, $1 million here, $1 million there. It came through a lot of hard work and harder decisions.
If you look at the energy conservation area, we detailed approximately $750,000 worth of annual savings. And then in addition to that, we made a recommendation that the city workforce take over a preventative maintenance contract on HVAC equipment, which we project to save the city about $110,000 a year.
The purpose of the resource group was to reduce expenditures in the personnel area. Our first opportunity for reducing these costs were in the area of overtime. What we did is we established a uniform procedure to apply citywide to affect the results of a reduction.
What we had in city government for some time were fee schedules that were outdated. What APC Skills provided was an opportunity to look at those fee schedules, develop what they should realistically be in terms of what our costs are, and then to move on a very short time frame to put the new schedules in place. And they provided us an opportunity to bring the Department of Water and Pollution Control together, the Department of Finance, and systems together as a project to get that done on a timely basis. And we're going to realize out of that about $1 million additional dollars a year because of those changes in our fee schedules.
Where did savings come from? Cutting unnecessary overtime, conserving energy, managing accounts and collections more effectively, refinancing computer hardware, canceling outside contracts for work that municipal employees could do equally well at much less cost. But the biggest savings came from eliminating excess positions from the payroll. Each of these positions would have cost the city almost $1 million on average over the life of an employee. And we saved that money without laying people off. Many of these positions were already vacant. Others were abolished by attrition or by reassignment. Most important, we got the mayor, the commissioners, and all levels of management working together to reduce the cost of government.
It was exciting to watch the mayor. He just took off his mayor's hat and became one of the boys, so to speak, in the training program, and interacted just like each of the other commissioners with no rank being pulled, free flow of questions and disagreement among the group, and I thought that was an exciting learning environment.
Learning, service, savings, and a host of other benefits.
There have been some intangible benefits coming out of this project, the most important of which is that it has increased group participation and discussion of problems at the managerial and executive levels.
We try to cross-train all of our personnel. We try to make sure they have multi-disciplines and they're multi-talented. Just because you're an electrician does not mean you won't know anything about paving or you won't know anything about sewers and drains. And we have a continuous training program that goes on and on and on.
This process certainly made greater cohesion among the middle-level management that I worked with in the group and within the departments which we studied. I'm now able, for example, personally to call upon these people for some assistance and resources that I didn't know existed prior to this exercise.
APC Skills forced us as a city government project to focus in on common objectives and to do something about it on a timely basis.
It gave us rapport with other department heads. We talked to each other, we saw each other, something that we never do because most of the city's employees are so widespread.
What you've just seen is the first chapter in a continuing story. We've got to maintain and widen our efforts to encompass all areas of city government. And I'd like to say a special word of thanks to you, the city employees who made it all happen. Everything that we've accomplished is a tribute to you. We in government may not have the profit motive to spur us on, but we have something far more important, and that is pride in our work and a desire to serve. With those as our main assets, the fiscal future of Atlanta is secure.
The key steps of the APC Skills process. Identify and attack barriers to change. Implement change instead of just recommending change. Focus on managers and their training. Use community resources. Transfer our technology to our client, the city. Instill an ongoing sense of fiscal responsibility. Create a sense of ownership in productive change. Run a city like a business? Of course, with the help of APC Skills.